Nordstrom began liquidating its stores across Canada this week. However, many customers seem disappointed by the markdowns. The start of the department store chain's closing sale came a day after the U.S. retailer's Canadian branch got permission from the Ontario Superior Court of Justice to start selling off merchandise. Furniture, fixtures, and equipment will be liquidated alongside most of Nordstrom's products. However, so far, some people are underwhelmed by the discount prices, some reporting markdowns of just 5%. But a Nordstrom spokesperson says select products and categories have been discounted by up to 20%. As part of the wind down, Nordstrom will close its 6 Canadian department store locations and 7 Nordstrom rack shops, which sell designer goods at discount prices. Well, joining us now to give us more financial insight into this is Brendan Caldwell, director at Caldwell Securities Ltd. Brendan, welcome back to Forum Daily.
Nima, always glad to be here.
So let's talk about these disappointing price markdowns. Why do you think Nordstrom made these prices or price drops so minimal?
Well, that you think I'm an expert on retail, Nima, I think I'll find flattering. I'll take it as a compliment. But my best guess is that if you have Nordstrom's points or loyalty or discount points, you're going to be in a, like, they need to get spent right away. So I would expect, and this is my best guess, is that they'll keep the prices fairly high for the first bit of the wind down because the people rushing to use their points will probably willing to pay full price or closer to full price because in a few weeks time those points, those loyalty points will be worthless. So that's my best guess. And then just in generally, the publicity will probably get people coming to the stores, and like a Dutch auction, I think the prices will get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper until they finally sell everything or next to everything before they're done.
Very interesting, Brendan. So what would you say are the next steps for Nordstrom amid this liquidation process?
Well, it's part of a bigger issue. Nordstrom's is, of course, part of a large U.S. retail chain. And the difficulty with Canada in general is we're such a branch plant, particularly when it comes to retail. It is easy for Americans and American companies to think, in not just retail, but any industry, that because we look alike, we sound basically alike, and we all drive similar cars, that it's the same market. But the Canadian retail market is just a mess. I mean, it is very challenging, and it doesn't necessarily lend itself cross-border. So what's next for Nordstrom's likely is the battle that's going on with a good Canadian boy, Ray Cohen, is taking a more activist position in the parent company in the US. So here in Canada, they're going to wind down their 6 stores. They're going to sell off their goods. You may see them on discount racks or in Value Village, but it'll just be yet another Canadian branch plant retailer that's gone the way of Eaton's, as one says.
Definitely. Another U.S. Retailer in Canada failing, including Target. So what do you think were the key reasons behind the failure of Nordstrom in Canada in the first place, Brendan?
Two different things, slightly different things. With Nordstrom's, I'm not sure they found their market. It's not that you can't succeed in Canada as a retailer. Holt Renfrew's done well on the one extreme, and Mark's Work Warehouse, which is owned by Canadian Tire, on the other extreme, if you're talking about Canadian fashion, so it is possible to do well or at least survive. But I don't think Nordstrom's ever found its niche. Different, I think, than Target, which people were expecting the U.S. Target experience with a broad array of goods and competitive prices, like an upscale Walmart. But that's not what they actually got in terms of products in their stores. I think, though, the retail story in Canada is about the pandemic. It's not companies, retail and others, hung on by their fingernails to their businesses through the pandemic. But the recovery, and this we've seen it time and again through recessions, and this was a doozy. Time and again, it's not the recession or the pandemic in this case that destroys a business, but that the recovery doesn't come fast enough. And through the pandemic, so many people were used to getting deals, shopping online, doing the Amazon. And not to put too fine a point on it, you probably bought everything you possibly need. So there just wasn't the retail demand to support the infrastructure that a Nordstrom's transplanting their US model to Canada needed to support itself.
Definitely lots to watch in this constantly evolving space of retail, Brendan. We are out of time, but always great having you on Forum Daily. Thank you again for your insight.
Nima, thank you. Be
Thank
well.
you.